Imagine this, a world where there were no satellites in your pocket, no GPS telling you where to go, no live streams from space. No one had ever stepped on another world, and then suddenly, a tiny group of humans looked at the moon and said, "We are going there." Not as a dream, not as poetry, but as a mission so dangerous that failure meant death in silence. A mission so impossible that even experts called it madness. And yet, they still went, because sometimes human beings don't just live on Earth, they outgrow it. There was a time when the night sky was not science. It was mystery. The moon was not a destination. It was a question. Farmers looked at it, sailors navigated by it, children dreamed of it, but no one touched it. Back in the early 1960s, the world was divided. Cold War tensions were high. USA and USSR were racing, not just for power, but for space. And then came one statement that changed everything. President John F. Kennedy said, "We choose to go to the moon." Not because it was easy, but because it was hard. That single sentence lit a fire in NASA, a fire that would push humanity beyond Earth. NASA didn't have answers, they had questions. How do you build a rocket that escapes Earth's gravity? How do humans survive radiation in space? How do you land on a world 384,000 kilometers away? Engineers worked day and night. Some slept under desks. Some forgot what sunlight felt like. Some gave their lives to testing rockets that exploded before even reaching orbit. But slowly, something began to rise. The Saturn V rocket, a monster of engineering, 363 feet tall, powerful enough to shake the ground like an earthquake, and inside that machine, humanity prepared to leave home. Over the Apollo missions, NASA selected elite astronauts, pilots, engineers, dreamers, men who weren't chosen for bravery alone, but for calmness under absolute fear. They trained in simulations where everything went wrong, oxygen failures, navigation errors, engine shutdowns, because space doesn't forgive mistakes. Among them were names that became history. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, and many others who risked everything. Each mission had its own crew, its own story, but all of them carried one thing: humanity's first steps beyond Earth. Then came launch day, Florida, Cape Canaveral, millions watching. Countdown begins. 10, 9, 8, 7. Engines ignite, the ground shakes, the sky fills with fire. A 6 million pound rocket slowly rises into the sky. People scream, some cry, some pray, because at that moment, something unbelievable is happening. Human beings are leaving Earth, not in imagination, but in reality. Once the rocket escapes Earth, everything becomes silent. No wind, no sound, no rescue nearby, just darkness. The astronauts float in a metal capsule surrounded by nothing. One wrong move, and they never return. But inside that silence, there is beauty. Earth appears like a glowing blue marble, fragile, beautiful, alive. One astronaut once said, "From space, you don't see borders, only Earth." That moment changed humanity forever. As the spacecraft approaches the moon, it doesn't look like a dream. It looks like death. Gray surface, no air, no sound, no life. But still, humanity is going there. The lander separates. Slow descent begins. Computers scream warnings. Fuel is low, tension is unbearable. And then, touchdown. A quiet moment that shook the world. For the first time in history, humans stand on another world. Then came the words that echoed through time. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Footprints in lunar dust, no wind to erase them, no rain to wash them away. They remained as a permanent signature of humanity, not just from NASA, but from Earth itself. People think astronauts brought back rocks, but they brought back something bigger: perspective. They showed Earth from outside Earth. They proved impossible is temporary, fear can be controlled. Human limits are expandable. And most importantly, they proved that curiosity is stronger than gravity. After Apollo missions, the world changed. Technology advanced faster. Computers evolved. Satellites connected Earth. GPS was born. Space stations became reality, but something deeper changed too. Humans stopped looking at the sky with fear and started looking with ambition. Because now we know we are not trapped on Earth. We are travelers. But this journey was not perfect. It came with sacrifice. Some missions failed. Some astronauts never returned. Families waited for voices that never came back. Because exploration always has a price. But those sacrifices were not wasted. They became the foundation of everything we have today. Every phone, every GPS signal, every space mission after, built on courage. We often think humans are powerful because of technology, but that's not true. Technology is just a result. The real power is this: a species that refuses to stay limited. We look at oceans and cross them. We look at skies and fly through them. We look at space and step into it. No other species does that. Now NASA and other agencies are preparing for the next step: Mars. Not just a visit, but a settlement. The same questions return. Can humans survive there? Can we build homes on another planet? Can Earth life become interplanetary? And just like before, people will say it's impossible. And just like before, someone will prove them wrong. And now think about this. Every time you look at the moon tonight, remember this: there are footprints there, not of gods, not of myths, but of humans. People who were once told, you can't do it. And yet, they did. So the real question is not what NASA achieved. The real question is, what will you do that people think is impossible? Because the same universe that carried rockets to the moon is the same universe that carries your dreams. If they went to the moon, what is stopping you from going beyond your limits? If you want to hear stories like this, stories that inspire you to dream bigger, stories that push you to break your limits, then subscribe to this channel today, because here we don't just tell stories. We remind you that you can achieve the impossible too.